What's up guys, it's Amelia. Welcome back to my channel. I am finally back after my computer broke, after just taking some time for myself as well. I wanted to come back like 2 weeks ago, but then I just had issues installing things on my computer, and then just the whole stress of life kind of just happened, and reality just really set in for a lot of aspects in my life. But I'm feeling so much better now, and I'm so excited to film, and I wanted to come back doing a July favorites video because I literally have been gone like a majority of the month of July. So if you guys want to see what I've been loving for the month of July, then just keep watching. So first, I'm gonna start off with, I guess, some skincare. Now, I have been broken out the entire month of July, I think just between all the stress that I've been dealing with, plus like the heat and humidity. My skin is not a fan of heat and humidity, but there have been some products that I've noticed that have really just kept my skin nice and glowy. And even though I'm still kind of struggling with getting rid of my current breakout, I feel like it's on the way. It's slowly but surely on the way to clearing up. First thing, this isn't like really skincare, this is kind of like a beauty tool thing, but it is the Blender Cleanser Solid. Now if you guys have heard of the Beauty Blender, they have their own like cleanser to clean out the sponge really well. Well, I personally just love this to clean out like any sponge. I currently use my Juno sponge. I love my Juno sponge so freaking much. I had been using my old one for such a long time, it literally had like little pieces left. So I bought a new one. It smells really good. I love the smell of this. It also comes with like this cute little silicone kind of like scrubber thing, so you can like get deep into the sponge. And yeah, I think it just works with all sponges. Now I did try using this with brushes at one point. I feel like it dries out the brushes a lot, but when it comes to sponges, it gets all of the makeup out. Now I always like to keep my sponges like super clean, but when I break out especially, I feel like I clean my sponges a lot more often. So this makes it super quick, super easy, and yeah, I love it. Moving on to like actual skincare, something I've been using a couple times. This is from NEOGEN Dermalogy. This is the Canadian Clay Pore Cleanser. I believe I did get this in my Ipsy, and it is a Canadian glacial clay right here. I have used it a couple times in the sample. I kind of want to get the full size, but I'm gonna finish using the sample first. It does smell like soap to me, like pure soap, but it's kind of like a mask and cleanser in one. Now I actually recently tried it where like I had makeup on and I used it to kind of like get the makeup off as well, and I used it more like a cleanser and less of a mask, and when I washed it off, my skin looked so much brighter. It got all of the makeup off and my skin felt so smooth. It was a miracle. So I am deeply in love with this. I really do feel like it just gets deep into your pores as well. My skin felt squeaky clean, and I feel like the next day I did have a couple of whiteheads, but I feel like it was more so because like it really got deep and was just like pushing stuff out. So I don't think this breaks me out yet, like in a negative way, but every time I love how like smooth and just bright my skin looks. So this has been really nice for July, even though I have a breakout, just keeping the rest of my skin super bright, super healthy. Loving that. Another thing I wanted to mention, I feel like I've brought this up in so many favorites videos, but again, it cannot be beat. This is the THAYERS Witch Hazel Facial Toner, and this is the cucumber one. I have been obsessed with the cucumber one ever since I tried it like a couple months ago. I used to always do the rose petal. Now it's cucumber. My skin loves cucumber. Plus it smells good and it feels so incredibly refreshing during these hot summer days. I really wanted to use this just like so many times a day because it just made my skin feel so refreshed after like being outside and hot and sweaty and gross. Another skincare thing I've been obsessed with is this, because I have been breaking out so much. I have been loving these NEXCARE Acne Absorbing Covers. Now for me personally, because I'm stressed and breaking out, I tend to pick at my skin, which is so bad. Do not pick at your skin. I feel like this breakout would have been a lot more clear at this current point in time if I didn't like pick at my skin, but sometimes it happens and that's okay. Just try not to. If you ever come across a zit that's been popped or a zit that's like popped on its own, I definitely recommend these acne covers. Now these ones in particular don't have any like harsh exfoliants in it. A lot of these come with salicylic acid or some kind of other ingredients in them to like draw like the zit out. For me personally, I feel like my skin reacts in a really negative way when I use those, so these are just like plain covers. So if you don't want to like sit there with like a napkin to your face or something for a really long time, I just literally put one of these covers on and it really helps just draw the like gunk out. Plus it just helps the gunk from like spreading to the rest of the area around the zit. So these have been a huge lifesaver. I would show you them, but I'm literally out of this box. I just finished it up. I definitely need to get more. These are just $5 for 36 like little dots. You get like bigger dots and then you get like smaller dots. Another thing, I'm putting this in here because I feel like I've noticed a big change in my skin. Even though I've only tried it like maybe 3 or 4 times now. This is a new cleanser I've been trying out. It is the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser right here. I have seen this everywhere and it just, the packaging for some reason just fascinates me, and I've always really wanted to try this out. So I finally just decided to purchase the mini size of it, and I've slowly been like patch testing it on my skin, and the other day I finally used it like over my entire face, and I feel like it really helps clean my skin. And so far I haven't seen a negative reaction in my skin from this. Normally I react to products really quickly, so it normally takes 1 or 2 days for me to see if it breaks me out or not. So far so good with this though, and I feel like my breakout that I've been having has been clearing up a lot quicker ever since I started using this. Plus I feel like my skin just looks so much brighter, and it has such a really just amazing fresh healthy glow to it since I started using this, and it's super gentle. My skin does not feel like it's been stripped. I feel like the moisture is still in my skin after I wash it off, and I don't feel like my skin's tight after I use it, which is huge. Usually when your skin's tight after you use a like cleanser or something, it usually is not a good sign, and I've noticed my skin feels just for some reason a lot smoother than it does compared to when I don't use this. So I don't use this every day. I feel like it smells like when you go to the grocery store and just go to the produce aisle, it just smells like that mix of like fruits and vegetables. I will keep you guys updated on how this kind of reacts with my skin over the next couple of months. So I'm excited though. This has been really nice. Okay, so that is all of the skincare, and I'm gonna move on to a couple of makeup products that, oh my gosh, have just been so incredibly phenomenal. The first thing I'm gonna show you is this right here. This is the SMASHBOX 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I have actually used this in many of my tutorials in the past, but I really wanted to give it a nice, good shout out in this video. It has been so incredibly hot, and wearing makeup outside for like an extended period of time is always really challenging. But if you're going to like a fun concert, you want to like dress up. I love putting on eyeshadow for concerts and stuff. So I have been using this as a base, and it keeps my lids oil free and totally crease proof. Like there's only like a very teeny tiny bit of creasing after a long 8+ hour days out in the hot 90-degree weather, especially since my skin is so incredibly oily, and it gets even more oily when it's like super hot and humid out. And you only need like a teeny tiny little bit. Like I just do like a little finger and then like spread it between both, and you're good to go. I also love this because it doesn't dry your eyes out. I know a couple of eyeshadow primers that are meant to keep your eyes like super matte can make your eyelids a little dry. This does not do that, at least for me. And speaking of eyeshadow, we got this right here, the NATASHA Denona Sunrise palette. I had bought this a while ago. I wanted to do a video on testing to see if it was worth it, and I have been using this literally throughout the entire month of July. My favorite colors are these two right here. We got Morgan and Morning. I love putting those in the crease. It just makes for a really simple, beautiful, natural look. And then when it comes to like the fun nighttime kind of looks, I dig into the shades Clove and Glory. And then just depending on my mood, I will literally dip into like pretty much all of the fun shimmery glitter shades. And I also love putting in these yellows as well for when I just want my eyes to look a little brighter, a little warmer. I actually have it on right now. I did this really fun, pretty look. I don't know, it's just fun, really warm summer colors with this. Love it. I feel like this is gonna make such a good fall eyeshadow palette too. I feel like the darker purples in there are just gonna like, The last makeup product I have here is a little sample that I got. I got this in a promo code, and I tried this out a couple videos ago. It is the Too Faced mascara. I don't like saying the name of this mascara. I will call it the Hoover Damn Girl Mascara. But yeah, this mascara has honestly surpassed my expectations like crazy. I am so incredibly picky when it comes to mascaras. Like for me, the top priorities of a mascara, if it makes my eyelashes look volumized, if it makes my eyelashes not look clumpy. I also don't like it when there's any kind of like black or just like flakes underneath my eyes. eyes. I have worn this twice on literally 90-degree weather days for 8 hours plus. Like I was outside in the hot sun. I was sweating so incredibly badly, and this stayed on my lashes all day. I will say towards like the end of the day, like right before I was about to go home, I just noticed like it looked a little dirty under my eyes, but I was just able to pat it out really quickly, and I didn't get any of that for like the rest of the day. I actually am obsessed with the brush. I didn't think this thick brush would really get to like my roots of my eye, but it has proved me wrong. It's such an amazing brush too. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys, it's not makeup, it's not beauty related, it's just kind of like entertainment related. So at work I am able to listen to podcasts, and I have been loving true crime. Oh my goodness, I never realized how much I enjoyed true crime until I started listening to some podcasts, and there's two that I am obsessed with. The first one is called Crime Junkie. If you're someone who's just getting into podcasting, I feel like this true crime one is for you because it's short and sweet. They're 30-minute episodes each, and it gets definitely straight to the point. So if you're someone who loves true crime but just like wants the facts like laid out in front of them, this is the podcast for you. Another one that I have been so obsessed with, which at first I didn't like this one, but it is called My Favorite Murder. It is a true crime comedy podcast. Now that kind of sounds like really weird and almost like upsetting to be like a comedy true crime podcast, but their personalities are so funny. And sometimes like when you have such a dark matter, it's just nice to kind of like bring some laughter into it and some uplifting. Now they don't make fun of the murders or anything, but they make fun of like certain facts that kind of were brought up about the murders. I know it's weird, but trust me, it is so good. Now at first I did not like them like whatsoever. Hosts are definitely super chatty. They would literally talk about just random things for the first like 15 to 20 minutes of the podcast. I first started listening to their mini-sodes, which are basically like 30 to 40-minute episodes where fans get to send in their like hometown murders, and they just read off a bunch of them. I found those to be really interesting, and then I started wanting more, so I listened to like their live shows, and I was like, you know what, let me just try listening to a full episode of like their regular episodes. And honestly, I have just fallen in love with their personalities, so much so that I actually bought their book that they just came out with. It's called Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. And oh my gosh, it's just kind of like about their lives. I haven't really had much time to read this, but I kind of have like a little dent going on in there. It's really good. So yeah, it definitely took me a while to get into the podcast, but those are my absolute favorite two true crime podcasts. I also love the podcast How I Built This. It's basically interviews a bunch of people of like a bunch of companies like Tom's Shoes or Bobbi Brown Makeup, kind of just how they got started and like their whole journey to getting to where they are today. Yeah, just how they built their company, their empire. And I find that really interesting and super incredibly motivating, especially like during the month of July when like everything just kept hitting me. My computer broke down. I was just super unmotivated to like make videos, and just listening to like all the struggles that the people went through, like it's so incredibly motivating and gets me inspired to continue filming and doing what I love. So, oh, and one last one that I've just been obsessed with, it is called Unsolicited Advice. If you guys know Ashley Nicole on YouTube, or oh my gosh, Taryn, I can't remember her last name, but Taryn. I'd never heard of her before this podcast, but if you guys know Ashley Nicole on YouTube, I love her so incredibly much. And she hosts the podcast with her friend Taryn, and they are just so incredibly funny. I didn't realize how much like I related to them, like on like a whole different level. They're so relatable, so funny, and they genuinely give like super good advice to like a bunch of people who email in. Just their personalities make me feel just so understood, and I'm just like, thank you. All right guys, so that is everything I have been just in love with, needing, obsessed with in the month of July. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help support my channel. And question of the day, what have been your absolute favorite things for the month of July, and what are you super excited about for the month of August? I think for me, I'm actually moving in August. I'm moving in like 2 weeks, so if I have to go down to like one video a week, I'm so sorry, but moving is just getting really real. So I'm really excited, but there's a lot that's gonna be going on, so be patient with me. It's just been a really busy, chaotic summer. Also, if you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Emelia. If you guys want to see more beauty tutorials and reviews and just fun videos like this, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button that is right down below. And don't forget to hit the little notification bell that is right next to the subscribe button. This way you guys will get notified every Tuesday and Friday when I upload a brand new video. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.